Alright, hello and welcome to the OS World Cup Semifinals Winners Bracket match between Canada and Japan. I'm Monko2K and joining me today is Half Slashed.
What's up, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm up bright and early for what I hope to be a pretty great match. Canada versus Japan. That's pretty intense.
This is definitely going to be a great match. I think if you've seen their prior run through this tournament, both of these teams have looked very promising thus far. Admittedly, they've got kind of the easier side of the bracket. I mean, when you look up at the other half of the bracket, you've got USA and Germany, which is quite a bit scarier. I think most people would agree, but still, both of these teams definitely still top tier, and they're going to duke it out for securing the third place, at the very least, in this tournament.
Yeah, I was definitely watching Canada's performance last week, and they overperformed, at least compared to a lot of expectations that we'd seen, which was really cool to see. Japan I haven't been watching as closely, but I imagine like they've been doing pretty well as well. So,
yep, from what I've seen, they have with their new players in Iger and Hyphen and Koma, they have been performing much better than in previous years. I think this is the farthest they've gotten in quite a while. I think last year they got out in quarterfinals, and this year they've made a pretty clean run all the way up here to the semifinals. Same can be said for Canada. A little bit of a speed bump on Taiwan. They went to tiebreaker there, but they're here. Fun fact, they have only played Asian teams. In fact, they're still playing an Asian team, if you didn't notice.
Yeah, that is it's pretty interesting how the seeding ended up that way. That's for sure.
Yep. But yeah, overall pretty even matchup. I would say in terms of purely mechanical skill, I think Japan has a slight edge on things like raw aim, but I think Canada probably is going to maybe speed abuse. I know in their match versus Hong Kong, they picked quite a bit of DT, and they did very well on that, whereas Japan, not quite as good on DT, but we'll see how they're feeling on this pool. It has gotten considerably harder.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know, like, historically, Canada does best on the earlier rounds. Like, they just have really good consistency, but they start to taper off a little in the later round pools. I know I see a lot of new names on that Canada roster though, so maybe the players that they've added, help with that skill ceiling in those later rounds. But it's too soon to tell. We got to actually see the match for that.
Yep. Although on paper, definitely, as you said, probably skill cap not going to be as much of a problem this time around. That being said, I don't see either of these teams really jumping into some of the pure aim maps as much. I don't think, at least, they're going to try that. It'd be a pretty even battleground, but like I said earlier, Japan might have a slight edge, so they might be more willing to try things. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking back to their Canada-Hong Kong match. I actually saw Canada employ, they actually used a speed strat, where they just kind of picked speed and the other side couldn't really do much about it. So they might try this with Japan. I don't know how well that's going to work, though.
Yeah, on paper, Japan definitely better at speed than Hong Kong, that's for sure. But how much better, I'm not too sure. I mean, you've got, your classic Dallas, fast man, and you've got Varvalian, also quite fast in his own regard. And as well as a pocket speed player, Chan Koma, mouse click player, click X players, excuse me, but we'll see. Maybe they can hold their own on DT against Canada. But if it does appear that Canada has a clear advantage on DT, they have more than enough maps to abuse in this pool.
Wait, did I just hear click X? I feel like I'm getting that callback to P-Chick. Oh man, is this the spiritual successor?
I think so. He also plays Nightcore. Fun fact. I love that.
What? This guy's a gamer. All right.
But yeah, getting into the rolls, looks like Japan will win the roll. Let's go, Dallas.
But yeah, that's a 70-point lead on the roll, right? That's a pretty big lead going into the maps.
So, what do you think is gonna happen here in the ban phase?
Well, I kind of agree that the aim gaming might not be the first things out of the gate. I don't see bans being used on that. Actually, I do kind of expect at least Japan to ban just stuff that they don't want to play, and then Canada, I'm not actually sure. That's kind of what I've seen from them as well, because last week I think they banned both VTuber maps. So I'm sure that there's going to be some strategy here on the skill sets, but at least surface wise, it's just going to be all right, it's which maps do these players just not want to play? So.
I'm thinking a Nomad 6, but Japan probably going to be banning a DT. If they've done their research, I think banning a DT would be a very safe pick here. Really, any of the last 3 DTs. DT1, not really too necessary. That's more of just raw aim. And actually, Nomad 5, that's also quite fast. So, plenty of fast maps to work with here. As for Canada, like you said, not really too sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking Japan probably leaves Hard Rock open if they can. Just in general, I just see Japan as the Hard Rock favored team, and I see Canada as hidden double time sort of a thing.
Yep, and looks like I predicted correctly. Japan is going to opt for banning DT2 as their first ban. That is going to be the only DT that they can ban in the match. So, I need to pick something else later. And Azer going to ban out Nomad 3 and Hard Rock 1. Hard Rock 1, probably pretty expected. Japan has historically been very good at Hard Rock aim, especially in the last match, the last few matches. I think they've picked Hard Rock 1 every single match. But yeah, Nomad 3 is an interesting ban. And yeah, Japan just going to ban another speed map.
Yeah, so it looks like Japan's really going for that speed counter. They must have seen the MP from last week, and they were like, we can't let them do this to us. So it's going to be all pretty much aim and finger control-ish stuff for the rest of the DTs that are open. And Canada going with the Nomad 1 pick,
Nomad
so they're actually starting with the aim. It's pretty interesting.
That is quite surprising, but I guess we do get to see some of the newer players from Canada shine, hopefully. Rupert, Zudi, and that's not a Canadian player. There you go. Yeah, this will be very fun to see. It's kind of like the battleground between the new players, Iger and Hyphen for Japan coming in, versus Rupert and Zudi for Canada. Both, all four of them newcomers. Let's see who comes in to fill for the 4th slot in Canada. Maybe UK. That guy's got quite a bit of aim.
Yeah. I'm thinking that this is just like a mental game play from Canada, though. I'm just thinking like if you start off with Nomad 1 just in general, right? Like that is, in my opinion, like that's probably the most like nerve/RNG dependent thing in the pool usually. So I just like look at that. It's just like, all right, if Canada wins their pick on this one, and usually like I feel like that there's that mental boost when you pick something that if you're just like you feel like you're gonna do better on it. Then like that could set Canada up for like a few easy points just off of mental. So
true, they might just be doing this to build upon momentum. I have talked to a couple of the Canadian players, and they are feeling very confident in this match. So it would make sense that they would opt for something kind of shaky like Nomad 1 as their first pick. But we'll see how it works out. And yep, that's going to be Nick1324 coming in as the 4th player for Canada. So 3 newcomers versus 2. Let's see how this goes. And of course, Japan opting to put in their staple AIM players, A Blue and Varvalian.
yeah, it looks like we're not starting off with any early surprises though. So everyone seems to be holding pretty well. Canada has the very, very, very slight accuracy lead, but you know, kind of insignificant.
Yep. Looks like everyone's going to be fine. Nobody having a heart attack just yet. Always a good sign. I know a lot of players tend to have a lot of trouble on the first map of the match, and then they recover after, you know, throwing a little bit. But seems everyone's fine here.
Yeah, they've probably warmed up pretty well. So I don't know how many of Canada's players are. Oh, never mind. Looks like we're seeing the first break from Iger.
Yep, and that will be slight combo advantage for Canada, of course. Still holding the 4-way FC. Still plenty of map left. Plenty of long jumps. And actually, Varvalian is going to be the second person to drop. That's going to cut the FC count down to 2 for Japan in this first third of the map. So far, the pick is working out quite nicely for Canada.
Yeah, the halfway point's the one to watch on this one, though. As you know, at least on this sort of map, like if you just miss there, like that's gonna toss you, man.
Pretty much, and actually, Yummy in my tummy gonna be breaking. Going to even things out a little more. Combo advantage still slightly in favor of Team Canada here as we approach the halfway point. And we'll see if anybody can cut their score in half. So far, so good for everybody. Actually, accuracy is very high across the board. Except for Iger, but that's fine. It's an AIM game. And an AIM map.
Yeah, so far, everything else is looking pretty static, though. Some good consistency on both sides here. But as a result of that consistency, you know, Canada's like 150k lead is just remaining constant on this one. Japan kind of needs another break from Canada.
All things considered, the scores are pretty close, and just as I say that Hyphen finds a break, that's going to be 1 FC left on Japan on A Blue versus 3 for Canada, with about a quarter of the map remaining, and it is starting to look a little bit grim for them. But, of course, this was Canada's pick, so nothing to be too worried about.
Yeah, everyone doing pretty well on the solo, all things considered, though. So that is that's going to widen Canada's lead up to the 300k mark.
Yep, that's Canada's newcomers for you. All 3 new members just going at it. Look at that aim. Look at that accuracy. So comfortable, so prepared. And yep, this map is basically over at this point. Last 8. Just a matter of seeing who can pull out the FCs for style points. But yeah, Japan probably not going to be making up this score difference anytime soon.
Yummy and Hyphen both missing there, but it's not really affecting that score line. We're seeing great performances from Zudi was doing quite well, but like that's pretty and choke not bad. It's like that's at least 900k. But Rupert and Nick are just they're just hanging on. So
yup. 2-way FC from the Canadians, almost 3, versus the Seoul FC on A Blue for Japan. Varvalian got a 1 miss, and I think Iger did as well. All things considered, actually pretty close. If Varvalian and Iger managed to get a little bit luckier, then that definitely could have gone the way of Japan, but Canada going to be securing their first point here.
Yeah, good performance from A Blue over on Japan's side as well. So that is a nice 99 FC, 970k. It's like we take those. But just
now, yeah, the question becomes, what does Japan pick now? Because I was expecting them to go for the more generic picks like Nomad 1, Hard Rock 1, which was banned. But neither of these teams are really, I don't think, are too keen on picking the weird stuff like Nomad 6. So that leaves a question in the air. What is Japan going to try to do here? Of course, there are still plenty of generic, in quotes, maps. 2 Hard Rocks are pretty simple. I think Nomad 2 is pretty simple.
I could see them going with. It's really hard to tell. I just see them going with a Hard Rock, honestly. Like if I was them, I'd probably pick like Hard Rock 3. Just in general, like I've at least caught wind of some commentary. Japan does not really like these maps very much. And especially like that Nomad 1, I think was one of the ones I've heard about. But as a result, I think it's making it hard, and especially since they just lost on Nomad 1, which is something that favors them traditionally. Their mental might not be doing too well. So, but
and looks like they are going to opt for free mod. This is the Big Circles free mod, CS 2.6. Kind of a reading challenge. Screen is very cluttered on this map if you play it with Nomad or Hidden. I guess more so Nomad. Hidden, everything disappears. But yep, Dectopia going to be coming in for Japan. He'll probably be running the Hidden. I'm going to guess Varvalian's going to run Hard Rock. And Stoof and Azer, complete roster swap for Canada, actually. All of the former members, minus Trevrasher, or not former, but returning members. Azer, Stoof, Ryuke, and Yummy going to be playing this one.
Yeah, actually, so this is a pretty good pick on Japan's side. I actually didn't really think of this. This is a like flow aim type big circle map. So it's actually very familiar if you're used to like the standard alts, like Space Stream style, which is it contrasts pretty heavily with the Nomad 3 this round. So, and especially considering that one was banned out, like having this one open, and just capitalizing on this makes a lot of sense. So
it is true. I forgot to think about that. Canada did actually ban Nomad 3, which is pretty surprising to me because in my mind they've got a lot of players who are very good at specifically alternating style maps, and if they were to ban one, maybe that's a signal of a little bit of a weakness here, but we'll see. They're actually going to be running double Hard Rock on here.
Yeah, I mean, that aim style difference, it's pretty big. So, I mean, it's not just the tapping on this, it's also, it's like, can you handle the same style?
Yup, and out of the gate, already some trouble for a few players. Dectopia and Ryuke finding breaks. Yummy and My Tummy as well, already down to 5 FCs, 2 for Canada, 3 for Japan.
slight overmod on Canada's side, by the way. Brian with the hard rock alongside Stu. So not too surprised about that overmod. It's just interesting to point out.
Yep. For some players, hard rock is going to be a lot easier on this. And whoa, that's some misses. That's a lot of misses. Varvalian, Azer, and Ryuke dropping combos. It's just Stoof versus Eiger and Hyphen for FCs coming out of this first third of the map, but things are going to pick up here. So slight combo advantage in favor of Japan. But as you can see, things are getting much more difficult, very quickly. And Ryuke struggling to find combos. Same with Azer. It's just Yummy and Stoof on Canada holding the ship together. Meanwhile, still 2 FCs. Actually, not 2 FCs. Hyphen broke. Dictopia's got pretty much an FC.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Japan so far. You know, especially as like their first pick.
Yep. Into the second half of the map, and it's basically Stoof and Yummy versus Dictopia and Eiger, with Varvalian making up the score gap. That being said, the score gap is very, very small, less than 100k, and Varvalian breaking there is actually going to shift combo advantage slightly in favor of Canada. They're going to slowly bring this back, and just as I say that, they lose both of their combos. Stoof and Yummy finding breaks simultaneously. It's going to be just Ryuke left for Canada. Meanwhile, Japan losing Eiger, but they've still got Dictopia, who seems to have recovered very nicely from that shaky start.
Yeah, despite, like, that was not too good from Canada. You know, Acer kind of fell, and then, like, Stoof and Yummy fell a little bit after. Ryuke seems to have recovered his combo pretty decently, so.
Yep, but definitely not going to be enough to counter Dictopia's combo. Just as I say that, Dictopia loses it. Ryuke now up to 700 combo, and, yeah, it's gone. I should probably not talk about him.
Yeah.
Now it's just Hyphen. Look at Hyphen go. It's got 650 combo.
This one's not looking too good for Canada, that's for sure. Japan, like, they had an opportunity to take back the lead, then a couple breaks from Ryuke and Yummy kind of sealed that deal. Japan is leading pretty decently. I think they won that. They won that map. I'm like, where's the map? Because the song's actually like 4 minutes, but they used like a 3-minute version. So
tournament mapping,
TM.
But yep, pretty clean victory for Japan. They win their own pick by 200k. Nice, comfortable margin. And next to pick will be Canada. I'd like to see some of that speed come out real soon. I think they're probably going to pull it out. No, definitely not. When Azer's the last one left in the lobby, I think they're probably not going to pick speed. Then what are they going to pick?
Look, he still has to, like, actually state the pick before, like, he walks out. But everyone else swapped out, right? Like,
true.
So this is like peak anticipation right now. I don't know. If I was them, like, I would just go with DT3 and just roll with it. Or if I wanted to, like, keep playing mental games, I'd pick DT4 against Japan.
Yeah, on paper, looking at the historical prowess of Canadian speed with Ryuke, Trev Rasher, Stoof, DT is probably a safe pick here. Whether they're gonna go for it is a different question, but I don't really think there's anything else in the pool that they would rather pick. I mean, their first pick was pretty strange to begin with, Nomad 1. We've discussed quite a bit. But, yeah, they're taking their time here. Okay, never mind. DT3 it is. This is the speed burst DT of the pool. The DT that was banned was DT2. That was more the long stream stamina DT. And this map is very hard. Fun fact.
Yeah, I mean, like, this thing it's quite fast, right? This is sitting at around 260-ish BPM. Like, this is a speed pick, right? There's no other way to put it. So.
This is your classic speed pick. Very little aim component, tons of bursts, triples, finger control, you name it. And yep, Ryuke gonna be coming back in. I'm fully expecting our man Trev Rasher to step in as well. Yeah, there we go. I know my players. Meanwhile, for Japan, Dallas, Varvalian, and Chankoma, you're gonna get to see that click X come into play. But actually, Iger playing this one, I didn't know he was a speed player. Maybe he's not.
He could just be that fourth man Phil. So we'll see, because you know Japan kind of went out of the gates to ban out 2 speed related picks. So I could definitely see them as just like, all right, maybe they don't have like a full like 4 roster for speed like Canada does, and that might be why they did that. But we're gonna really see that in this map. So
yeah, this is one of those maps where if you're not good at speed, it really shows that like your accuracy is just gonna tank on this stuff. Okay. Yep, Chankoma is still click X. I'm not crazy. And actually, everybody doing quite well. Accuracies across the board quite high. I know Koma's at 95, but cut him some slack here. He's playing with 2 hands. He's tapping with 2 hands.
yeah, I love to see that click X. It's just like, it's always just enlightening seeing that like pink on the overlay. Like it really catches your eye.
Yep, in an era where nobody plays mouse only, nobody plays with mouse clicks. Actually, last year I think Gasan WW, he was a mouse only player, also on Japan. He's not here this time, but yep. Going back to the match, everything is going quite nicely for everyone, although Chankoma does find a break just as I say that. Still, 3 FCs to 4, and Iger is way faster than I thought he was.
Yeah. Overall, things are definitely tilted towards Canada. You know, we got Ryuke with a 99% AC, right? Trevor Asher not far behind at 98.5. Stoof and Nick holding 97s. Japan, the only person above 97 is Varvalian with that 98-ish. So it is definitely favoring Canada. The break from Chankoma didn't seem to affect too much just because his accuracy wasn't really up to par. But that is... it's not looking good for them.
Oh, that'll be a lot bigger though. Varvalian and Iger finding misses on the slow part. That's gonna cut the FC count down to just Dallas on Japan. Nick does find a break over on Team Canada, but still 3-way FC from Ryuke, Stoof, and Trev Rasher. This is the classic Canadian speed squad right here. Oh my god, they are just destroying this. Yeah, I think my theory of Canadian speed in this match is going to be correct. Dallas doing his best over there on Japan, still holding onto the FC, but yeah, at this point there's not really a whole lot that can be done to save them. I just want to see who's going to come out with a full combo. There have been quite a few ending chokes on this map, if I recall correctly, or maybe it was DT2.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, like, for Canada, I don't think that's going to matter, right? They have a pretty domineering win here, that I think,
oh my
with
god,
like 1.1 mil.
3-way FC from Canada and the 1 miss from Nick. No FCs over on the side of Japan. That was a destruction.
Yeah.
That's Canadian speed.
Yeah, that is very incredible performances. Ryuke getting the MVP on that one, right? It's just the accuracies across the board were all really good, right? Like three-way 97 plus FCs on a speed pick in semifinals. That's something to take home. Like that, we're gonna have to write on that one. That's for sure. That one's cool.
Yeah, I think Japan definitely made a good choice in banning 2 speed maps. Yeah, they are going to be counting their lucky stars that there's only 1 speed-ish map left in the pool, DT4, although that one is more finger control than anything else. Maybe they'll be fine. I don't think they're going to get outspeeded on any of the other maps in the pool.
Yeah, I mean, like, DT4 isn't really fast, right? And then DT1 is in-game. I wouldn't, like, if I was Canada, I would just not pick DT1. But maybe if I was Japan, I would, right? So that might be an interesting option.
That's the thing here. There's like a very even fighting ground here on some of these more normal maps. And this is not a normal map. I mean, I guess it's a normal hidden reading map. AR 8.5, Hidden 2, picked by Japan. Now, I'm not used to Japan picking the reading stuff, but they are quite good at it. Delis, very good at pretty much everything, in fact, but specifically older style maps, although this isn't really older style, it's just low AR, and Dictopia, hidden master for Japan. But Canada also historically quite good at this kind of thing. I know they've lost some of their notable players who played a lot of this stuff, but they've still got Azer, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so like that's the classic hidden player right there. So I don't know who else actually comes in, right? Maybe Zudi, maybe Yummy. I'm not too sure.
Probably Zudi. She plays quite a bit of hidden as well, although this is not really the kind of stuff she normally plays. I know Stoof can definitely play a pretty nice hidden sometimes when he's feeling it. But I don't know who they'd get for their fourth. Like you said, probably Yummy, but let's see. Actually, A Blue playing this is kind of surprising to me. I didn't know he was a reading man. Maybe he's not. But I don't think they would have picked this if he wasn't. And yeah, there comes Ryuke.
Ryuke, that's an interesting one.
Ryan is a reading player? No way.
Hey, I guess, look, if you do hidden double time on some of those older maps, right, I can see it a little bit. Just a bit. Not very much, but, like, it's there.
Maybe, but even then, that's like this AR plus double time, so I don't know.
Look, it's a fourth man fill stretch, man. What are you gonna do?
Looking at the past 3 years, this man is not the best hidden player, the best low AR hidden player, but he has gotten quite a bit better in the last 3 years. That's for sure. Let's see how much better he's gotten.
Yeah,
maybe he can surprise us here. And this map is not really old style, so it kind of loses some of the difficulty that a lot of the older maps have. So maybe he'll be completely fine on this.
Or adds to it. Like sometimes AR hidden is, you know, it's a crapshoot, right? Like there's a modern emerging like low AR style, and that's actually harder than some of the old style stuff for low AR. So we'll see.
Yep, he does find a miss. That's fine. Delis found one as well. Delis is known for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
I'd say that the outcome of this is gonna kind of predict like possibilities of Fremont 2. So
okay.
Types, but.
Looks like A Blue is not as fantastic at this stuff as I thought he might be. Zuninator also finding a miss. There's 2 FCs left. We're like barely into the map. Dectopia versus Azer. It's a kind of a classic hidden battle. Oh wow, people are really not having a great time with this.
Yeah, I gotta love those low AR picks, right? Like, this is... this kind of magnifies, like, all of those, like, chip misses, because it's like, that cursor awareness, like, makes a huge deal here.
Yeah, it's really only, like, the 3 players who really play this stuff all the time who are doing well. Azer, Delis, and Dectopia, and Delis and Dectopia is 2 players. Azer is 1, so you do the math here. Japan is going to slowly claw out a lead out of that. And actually, Hyphen also recovering quite nicely after that intro.
Yeah, very good performance so far from, you know, like, Dectopia. Delis had the early miss, was doing very well with 98%, actually matching Dectopia's score. You know, it's just like, and Hyphen not far behind as well.
Ooh, Dectopia finds a miss on that pattern. That pattern is a lot trickier than you might think. I've played it. I hate it. And that's about it. Last half of the map here. Oh, that's big. Delis drops his combo. It's just Hyphen versus Azer now.
Yeah, Zudinator drops hers as well. Azer is still holding quite strong, right?
Actually, combo advantage is still slightly in favor of Japan off of A-Blue having 300 combo here. Still a third of the map. It's all up to big man Azer. Can Grandpa pull it back?
Oh man, it's just gonna depend on like
it's
the next.
Doable.
Yeah, it's depending a lot on that the last quarter, right? Like we just see it with Score V2 all the time, right? It's like all the points are in this just like last like few hundred combo. If you can hold that, like you're off to a good start. The supporting combos are not really there for Azer.
Oh man, this is so huge. Hyphen finds a break. A-Blue finds a break. Azer's gonna pull it back slowly. Still 100k score left in the map for him to bring it back. And yeah, he brought the score lead back over.
Oh, but can he hold it, right? This is... the supporting combos are not there for him. Like, we're seeing break from Yummy and Zero.
Oh, he finds a break! It goes back over to Japan at the very end! I think they've lost it! They did! Oh my god! Azer, so close! But in the end, finding a break, and Japan will take that one by around 50k. Oh my!
Man,
Azer.
what was that? What was that? Oh.
I mean, even though they lost, Azer still got it in him. It's been, what, 5 years? He's still here, and he's still kicking. But yeah, that'll be Japan's second point.
What?
Oh, man.
Well, we hate to see that, man. Well, it was just like Japan did really well, right? They were able to hold that overall like consistent team performance, and I guess that's why they picked that. You know, it's like pretty much everyone was over 600k aside from Blue, so that is it was a good pick on their part.
It was definitely a good pick. It was just Azer. Nobody thought he'd be the man he is right now. No shot this guy can still play really well after all this time. But Canada gonna be going for a DT pick straight again. This one, like I said before, not quite as speed heavy, more so finger control heavy. Lots of doubles, quads, and triples consecutively. It's also 10.3, so if you can't read that, then you're in for a bad time. But I think everyone should be pretty accustomed to 10.3 at this stage.
Yeah, I'd say that this is actually comparable in difficulty to the quarterfinals pick last week, right? That one was kind of decried as too hard, and this one's around the same-ish difficulty. So I'd say if anyone actually did pick like last week's pick and could perform on that, they'll do just fine on this one. But I really like this is mind games for Canada, right? They're playing it as much as they can. Like they know what Japan doesn't like, so.
Should note, last week, Japan did not do fantastic on the finger control map, the DT4 of the last pool. But, you know, it's a different map entirely. I'd actually say this one is not necessarily harder than last week's. Just kind of different. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying, right? It's like, what, 225 BPM, like, has some doubles, right? Like, some triples.
The bursts in that
light
map
finger control.
are a lot longer.
Yeah.
But we are going to be seeing Rollpan come in for the first time this match. If you're not familiar, his old name was Shirasaka Kome. He has been Japan's kind of tournament forerunner for quite some time now.
I'd say it's more like Rollpan is his old name,
true,
right?
True.
And then he was just like he made like all those like the graveyard like jump maps, and
Yeah,
then it's
and
like
then
he switched
changed.
names, became a tournament beast, and now he's back to Rollpan. So
everyone was like, "What? This guy's the same guy?"
Yeah, it's the same guy, right? Except this time it's without the underscore and without the caps. So.
Yep. Anyways, getting on into things, Yummy and My Tummy going to be coming in place of Nick for this. Say in place of Nick, I'm talking about from the last DT pick. But yeah, Cornerstone DT trio for Canada, still in here, still running things. Trev, Rasher, Ryuke, and Stoof. Alright, let's see some doubles and triples and quads. So far, so good. Everybody is actually looking really comfortable in this. Barbalion was holding a double S up until like just now. That's the thing about this map. It's not nearly as intense as DT3, which might be a little worrisome for Canada because Japan could definitely hold their own on this. You can see slight combo advantage for Canada off of Rollpan's early break, but that's basically not going to matter in the end. Because, one, I don't think everyone's going to FC. I'd be very surprised if they did, but two, because accuracy.
Yeah, I think there's too much aim requirement in this for us to see the stuff we just saw on that DT3. So this is, it's like got some accuracy dipping stuff with the doubles and triples and light finger control, but maybe not so much on the miss potential, just because there are some aim patterns here.
Oh man, this is so much closer than I thought it would be. It's basically 4 FCs to 4 here, and 1/4 of the map remaining. This is a monster performance from both teams, and it's literally going to come down to accuracy, I think, which Canada definitely in the lead for. But if one of them finds a break, it'll shift things over to Japan really quickly. And you can see the nerves starting to settle in. Everybody is I guess worried
this is
now.
High stakes.
And Trevor Asher finds a break, but so do 3 of the Japanese players!
Oh god!
That is devastating! Oh my god, there was a chance, a brief window of opportunity, but 3 breaks is just gonna end it for them. Hyphen now the only FC remaining as we get into the end here. Still 3 FCs over on Canada, make that 2. Stoof and Ryuke, the only 2 FCs. Oh my god, 4.3 million in semifinals.
What was that?
3.5, 3.6 is already good, and that's what Japan got, but freaking Canada's on another level.
Did we just see a 3-way FC on another DT pick by Canada? Same match, by the way. Same match!
So,
oh my god.
The Canadian DT theorem, proven.
Yeah, what was that, right? Hyphen had a pretty good performance over on Japan's side. Delis and Varvalian broke on the same pattern, Rollpan slightly behind that. But, what are you gonna do against the 3-way FC, right? Stoof the Goof getting that MVP as well? Man.
Alright, but now things get real because there's no more speed maps left. DT2 is banned. Every other DT has been picked besides DT1, which is more like an aim map. Nomad 4 is banned. That's not Nomad 4, that's Nomad 5, I can't count. But yeah, Canada is really out of speed picks to work with here. So, can't abuse the Canadian DT theorem for any longer. Gonna need to find a different avenue, but
Hidden's a safe bet, I think, for Canada at this point. But
is
we'll see.
it? We saw that Hidden too. They almost won it, but it was really just off the back of Azer. But who knows? Maybe Azer.
Yeah, that was low AR though, right? The rest of the picks are quite different, right? It's Hidden 1's more of a tech streamish thing, and then Hidden 3's just a general all control pick. And yeah, there's a lot of other things.
Okay, Japan gonna be opting for a free mod 3. This is the... What would you call this? I don't really know what to call this. It's
all right.
Russian style.
This is it's Junzen, Evil Elvis. We know what that is, right? It's on a high BPM song. It's got some perfect stacks that make it so that Hidden's not so free, but that's not gonna shake off either of these sides. I think it's just high BPM awkward aim, right? It's kind of doing what DT4 was doing, just not on 10.3, and it is the aim is definitely a lot harder, of course. So that's kind of how I see this one. For mods, I'm kind of expecting, right, for Canada, it's easy. It's Azer Hidden, Ryuke Hard Rock, and then maybe we might see an Overmod. And then Japan, it's Varvalian Hard Rock. I don't know who goes Hidden.
Definitely Dectopia. That man is the Hidden player for Japan. Maybe Delis as well. I don't think they'd overmod this, especially not with Hidden. But yeah, Canada is a different question. This is kind of an Azer map. Maybe not, because I do see Zudinator come in, and she is probably going to be playing Hidden on this. Like you said earlier, Ryuke probably running Hard Rock, but also maybe not. He could definitely play this No-Mod, and Trev Rasher could Hard Rock it up. He's more of a Hard Rock player than Ryuke. Or Stoof. This is a toss-up. Like, literally any of these players could be picking any mod.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely see, like, I could see Zudinator with Hidden for sure. And then it's like... I still think Ryukei's gonna put Hard Rock on.
Bold prediction, Hidden Hard Rock on Zudinator.
Oh, that'd be lit!
That'd be really scary. I don't know if that's a wise move on this map. You do need 2 mods, 2 modded players, and that means someone else has got to play with another mod.
If you can handle the perfect stacking on Hidden, I mean, HHR is just as safe a bet as Hard Rock, in my opinion.
Perhaps. Let's see if anybody is feeling crazy. Maybe not. Ryukei on the Hard Rock. Are we gonna get to see what the other players are picking? Okay, yep, it's a boring life out here. Ryukei, Zudinator, Hidden, and Hard Rock, as you would expect. Dectopia and Varvalian, the analogous duo. Analogous.
I like it. Yeah, we'll see how this ends up going, for sure. It's, no surprises in this early section, which... pretty happy about that.
Yeah, this map is very consistently difficult throughout. So gonna be pretty calm here in the beginning.
Yeah, when you look at like the typical Elvis style though, it's kind of like you got like really hard parts and then they are all actually spread out by like relatively calm parts, even in like when the song is relatively intense. Varvalian seeing the first drop here, so that's the Hard Rock score down for Japan, giving a slight advantage over to Canada.
And just like that, Ryukei with the matching miss. Dectopia finds a miss, however, and that one will not be matched by Zudinator just yet. So, slight combo advantage for Canada, and A-Blue dropping as well. This is not looking that great for Japan all of a sudden.
Yeah, Dell is still holding a consistent no-mod though, so that's pretty good. Stoof dropping as well, Varvalian seeing yet another miss. And it's definitely favoring Canada, and their lead is growing slightly.
Ooh, and Dallas dropping the last FC for Japan there. But still, yep, 2 FCs for Canada. This is quite worrisome for Japan, I would say. About halfway through the map, and there are no combos on that half of the screen. Oh, but Yummy does drop. A little bit of an opening here. Zudinator, now the only FC. Wow. The magic of playing Hidden with a huge tablet. Slight combo advantage in favor of Japan, I think, at this point. There are quite a few small-ish combos on that side. A-Blue and Varvalian around 500, Dectopia at around 600, and Ryukei dropping his combo is actually going to shift things even more in Japan's favor, I think. But Zudinator still holding out with the FC, keeping them afloat for now. And actually, maybe I'm just talking nonsense, because that score lead is not changing at all. Varvalian does find a miss. Still a quarter of the map left.
Yeah, that trade by Yummy and Varvalian is going to keep things slightly in favor of Canada. Oh, but that miss one from Ryukei, is that... I don't know if that's going to affect things very much.
It might. Like we've said before, the end of the map tends to be quite explosive in terms of score value. All eyes on Zudinator, really. It's going to be up to her. If she can FC this, she should be able to win it for her team. At the same time, maybe not. Yummy in My Tummy drops his combo. It's just Zudi and Stoof versus A-Blue and Dectopia, and Dallas. Ooh, but Dallas does drop. Things are looking a little safer for Canada here. Still 200k between both of them, but the map is just about over. I think they've done it.
Yeah, wow, and that's like... Okay, with Japan's got some really big combos too. But
no FC.
No, oh god! Oh no!
So close, so close. Literally missed like the last 4 notes of the map. Whatever, you know. You did it.
All right, that's just tragic, right? Like some solid performances from Japan, but Canada riding on Zudi's back, right? Like that's a 1500, like nearly an FC, right? Just choke at the end, right? Like close, but we can't really count it. But but the thing is, that was with hidden, right? Like that was a modded score. Like everyone else, was around the 500k ish mark. Stoof doing slightly better than the rest of his team. So overall, I'd say Japan had a more consistent performance, but Zudi had that carry, and that took that point for Canada, right? That's the first like pick we've seen like Canada win off of Japan, and vice versa. So
yeah,
nice.
That's bringing to attention. It's like Canada with solo carry star players playing with hidden. We saw that in Hidden 2, almost made it across the finish line, but just a little short. And here we see them take Fremont 3 from Japan. That is the first breakpoint of the match, like you said. So Japan is going to need to win one in response. But yeah, I think they're still fine. Still got time to work with. Canada still needs 2 points to win. And they've run out of speed picks. So, what's gonna happen here? What's the closest thing to speed?
Honestly, speed's gone.
Hidden
like,
1, closest thing to speed.
no.
And actually, this is a very smart pick from them because as we just saw, solo star hidden players on 2 maps. Now, what happens when you combine them in 1 map?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, no, this is something different, right? Like, it's just speed's gone. Like, Canada got their speed points, right? Like they got that advantage out of the way. Now it's time for like slightly riskier stuff, like more of an even ground with Japan on some of these hidden picks. But overall, I don't know. Actually, I haven't really seen what Japan's like tech performance is like.
If I recall correctly, last week it was pretty good, and that actually just reminded me Canada's not that great at tech. I mean, they've got Azer. Don't get me wrong, he's pretty good at tech, but, they've got to have 4 people.
So who are the standouts on Japan's side for the tech side?
Hyphen, Iger.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah. I'm just not too familiar, so that's cool.
Yeah, actually,
see that.
Maybe not really great at tech, just better than Canada as a whole, in my mind at least.
I mean, look, that's all that really matters, right? Like, you don't need to be compared to the best tech players like in the game, right? Like here it's like just Azer. Like, can you beat your opponents, right?
Pretty much. Your opponent is Azer.
Yeah, but like 2 is a bigger number than 1, from what I heard.
Potentially. But anyways, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. This is not the tech map. This is Hidden 1.
Look, I mean, you hear this song, right? Like,
sounds
it's
pretty
like,
tech.
This is like hidden tech streams, right? I think that's the best way that most people would describe this, right? It's just, even looking at the mapper, right? Like when I think Altai, I think, all right, this guy's making a tech map. I don't know what it's exactly going to be. I don't know how much slider proportion to stream proportion to like how many cut streams, how many turns in streams. I don't know all of that, but I just know it's gonna be tech. All right, that's what I know.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll take your word for it. You're the mapper. Your map is actually in this pool. Hasn't been touched yet. Could go.
Yeah, no. That's probably not getting touched this match. I'm gonna be real.
I don't know, dude. Japan feeling very free mod heavy so far. They've picked 2 out of the 3 free mods. Maybe that's what they go for next. But before we get there,
I kind of doubt it.
Let's see what happens
but,
here.
Yeah.
We do see Rollpan come in for Japan. He's actually a hidden player. Fun fact, or at least he was in 2016. I'm really old now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Full disclosure, I think I'm a little bit crazy because I swore this was aim. Just like jumps. I don't know how, but
nope.
This doesn't look like jumps to me. Yeah,
No.
I'm not really seeing too many jumps here.
Yeah, I mean, like, see some jumps out of the kick sliders, but
Oh yeah,
that's it.
A really discernible lack of jumps.
Yeah, it's a jump map. Can't you tell, right? Like, it's just like, Yeah, that's all we see right now.
This
So
is an
anyways,
Azer map.
yeah. Yeah, so we're seeing a couple of drops from Stoof. He's not having the greatest time here.
UK also dropping as well.
UK Blue as well. Yeah, Blue
Oh,
as well.
Dictopia drops. And Blue.
Everyone's kind of
2-2.
even, right? Like, Zudinator, like, Azer doing, like, holding the fort on Canada's side. Volpan, Delis on the Japan side. Pretty even in that regard.
So far in this match, it's been looking like Azer and Zudinator have been doing quite well against... Well, I guess not against Rollpan. They haven't really played against him in anything besides that one DT pick, but... Yeah... So far, so good for both sides. Slight advantage. Oh, no, it's not good anymore. Dallas and Rollpan drop their combos. It's Azer and Zudinator with the only full combos left in this last third. They're gone.
Oh, I love this.
And suddenly, it's like, I don't know who's winning. A-Blue's got the highest combo. Stoof's got no combo. Ryukei's got 200 combo, but it's actually slightly in favor of Japan right now. If A-Blue can hold on through this ending section, they should be able to take it. Zudinator finding another combo break, and everyone on Japan is doing things.
This is
150k, A-Blue's gone, last eighth of the map.
Yeah, it's accuracy
What is
game,
happening?
right? Canada kind of built that lead from earlier on with the accuracy, like, and I think they're just gonna ride that to the end.
It is so close. It's literally down to 1 or 2 combos. Acer finding another combo.
Recovering a lot of combo though.
And it's gone. It's gone. It's just Dallas now 500 combo, and Canada is still going to win in the end by 100k. That was crazy. So many things happening. Everybody missing a lot.
Those hidden streams at the end, like when the stream length started to kick in, like that's when we saw things really fall apart. Wow, that was kind of messy, right?
That was so unlucky. Rollpan and Delis finding misses at the exact same moment. If either one of them had held through, they win that pick. That just goes to show how close this match is. Even the speed picks, like Japan is not doing poorly on them. It's coming down to like 1 or 2 breaks for every single map, but it is what it is, and Canada find themselves at match point 5-2. Japan is going to need to make a pretty nice comeback here to take it to tiebreaker.
That just felt like a really ugly hockey match. I don't know about you, but I kind of got that feeling out of that. It's just like, ugh. It's just like performance, and then just like one thing falls apart, and it's just like, then it's like you get both teams like fighting each other on the sidelines, and it's just like it gets really ugly. But you know, you got a winner, right? Like someone gets the puck out there. But
this just in, Stoof will no longer play hidden.
Oh man, what was that?
Okay, now what does Japan do? Like,
what does Japan do?
So hidden is not, as they've demonstrated, not strictly in their favor. It's not strictly in anyone's favor. I really don't think they'd be going for hidden 3 at this point. Nomad 2's interesting, because, you know, they've got the Varvalian buff, but on the other side they've got Nick. He is the Canadian Varvalian, basically.
Alright. I'm thinking RNG, right? Like, at this point, like, if you're up at Japan's kind of in the corner, right? Like, they kind of have to eke out some coin flip wins, right? Like, I don't know
necessarily.
Stamina
they could
roster.
Think really, really long and hard about what to pick here, and if they play their cards right, they can take this to tiebreaker. And they are calling out the tactical timeout here. Things to note: Hard Rock has not been touched yet in this entire match. And I said before that I think Japan has a slight advantage on them. It's very interesting to me to see that they have not even touched it. Fremont 2, of course, kind of a toss-up map along with Hidden 3. And DT1, also a toss-up. Like, literally everything in this pool is... Oh, Fremont! It's your map half-slashed!
They're picking my map! That's something I didn't expect, actually. But... You know, desperate times call for desperate
Are you sure you didn't
measures.
expect it? They picked the other 2 Fremonts.
Yeah, this is the kind of map that's it's just like a huge toss-up in terms for cursor awareness, especially. So Japan did have some good performance on Hidden 2, so I guess it did kind of incline them to it. But I have a feeling that they didn't really want to pick this. It's just like this is just what it ended up. So.
Yep, and here we are in the 3rd free mod. Not the 3rd free mod, the 3rd free mod of the match, but free mod 2 in the pool. It's gonna be more or less the same story here. We're probably gonna see 2 Nomads, 1 Hard Rock, 1 Hidden. You can guess who's gonna Hard Rock, who's gonna Hidden for Japan, probably. Over on Canada, probably same. Those 2 people, those 2 fellas are in the lobby for Canada, are quite well known for 2 mods specifically. I'm gonna let you guess which ones.
Yeah, alright, so like, I'm thinking, Aids are Hidden for Canada. That's, did anyone question it? Right, I see Ryuke coming in, that's gonna be Hard Rock.
Got it.
Right, like, for Japan, right, Delta's gonna stick with no mod, Dictopia with the Hidden, Hyphen with a Hard Rock, I guess? I don't know, actually.
Theory here. I think Canada is gonna double Hard Rock this one, just because they've got Trev Rasher and Ryuke in here.
Oh, Varvalian is swapped in for Japan. No, he's definitely taking the Hard Rock for Japan.
Yup.
Yeah, overmodding is somewhat common on low AR Hiddens, or the low AR, like, high CS stuff. It's just like, in general, like, I see a lot more Hard Rock players than I do for Hidden on low AR.
Let's see. Was I correct? We got the double Hard Rock from Canada? Could it be? Or is Trev Rasher a reading player? Find out next time on Osu World Cup. And yeah, I'm right. I'm a prodigy. I'm a genius. But yeah, this should be pretty even, as the past few free mods have been. Not really sure if this is what Japan needs, though. They kind of needed to take a risk here. I mean, they've still got 3 maps to work with, 2 maps to work with if they win this one. Or actually 1 map to work with, because one of those picks is going to be Canada's. But out of the gate, so far so good, except Delos found a miss. Nothing to be too worried about. And I'm going to let you talk about this one, because you mapped this. You placed every single one of these notes, Slash. How does that make you feel?
How does it make it? We'll wait for the misses to happen, and then
There's some misses.
Yeah, alright, so looks like we're seeing a drop from Canada from both Stoop and Azer,
oh,
right?
Man.
Trev missing on one of the stacks, right? That's site recheck. So Japan doing pretty well, actually, with Hyphen holding a decent combo, 99%. Dictopia, you know, also doing pretty well on Hidden. I'd say that this section is relatively free for Hidden, just as long as you can, you know, as long as you have the aim. And then we're going to get into the slow section. I actually do expect some unfortunate misses here, just due to some of the rhythms just being really weird. So I'd say the accuracy is what you're watching here as well.
Who's going to miss on this kick slider? Do you know which one I'm talking about? There's a kick slider right here.
Yeah,
nobody
like
missed
right
on
here.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
No one missed on it. Everyone got it. Everyone's
Pretty
played
clean,
the map,
pretty
right?
clean.
Like, this is good. People have played the map, right? All right, so now we get into the cut stream section, right? It's like, I'd say the misses are more frequent on that, but everyone hit it.
So close right now. Still half of the map remaining. Plenty of time for things to go wrong for either side, and they start to go wrong. Azer and Stu finding misses over on the Canadian side. Meanwhile, Japan still rocking 4 strong combos, 2 of which are the full combo. And UK's the only FC on Canada.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Japan right now, actually.
Oh yeah, this combo is going to snowball really quickly here, coming down to the last quarter, and there's a bunch of streams here, right?
Streams come a little bit later, but they're coming.
Yeah, that's big score. What, Varvalian? You missed on the slow part. It wasn't even on the kick slider. Nobody's missed on the kick slider. I guess I'm just bad.
Everyone knows it's there. Everyone's played this map. Like, that's good.
Okay, here come the streams.
Yeah, here
Ryuke
comes the streams.
finds his break, and that's pretty much going to be the nail in the coffin there. Trev Rasher the only combo over on Canada. Meanwhile, Dictopia and Hyphen just chewing this map up.
Yeah.
Same with Delos. Yep, there goes Trev Rasher. You did this to them,
interesting, right? Like, Japan's running away with it, though. Like, Hyphen Dictopia combo is just too good, right? Like, Canada was not able to really find a foothold in this map, and if you lose it, like, on this map, it's like, it's hard to get it back. There's a lot of sections that, as we saw, like, not really hard, so it's just like, you gotta beat those like intense sections.
Okay,
Japan won all of
that
them.
was very clean from Japan. I was not actually expecting that. I definitely didn't expect a 2 AFC, and especially not a hidden one. But yeah, they are still here. They're up to 3 points now, and this will be Canada's last pick, so they need to make it count. If they lose this pick, the next pick will be Japan's, and then after that will be tiebreaker if Japan wins that. So, tactics time. What does Canada do?
What does Canada do?
We take a look
All
at
right.
the pool
Well,
here.
given that, I mean, even if Hidden 3 is different, I would not go with that, right?
Yeah,
Hard
it's
Rock,
been-
like Japan favored, right?
Well, actually, now that I think about it, maybe not quite Japan favorite. I failed to consider that Canada's got 3 new players who all happen to play Hard Rock. So,
That is true.
but I don't necessarily think that Canada has an advantage off of that. So, yeah, pretty much every map in the pool at this point is going to be a toss-up.
Every single one, really. Like, this is just hard to make any sort of judgment, right? It's like, Hard Rock 3, right? It's like, that's an act battle, pretty much, right? Like, it's mostly streams, right? CS 4.7, it's like precision-ish, right? Then it's like crossover, CS 6.5. That's a toss-up, right? Nomad 4, that's a toss-up. Like that map is combo balanced like in weird places, right? It's like you do really well in the first half, you like second half is free, sort of a thing. So that one's a toss-up. Nomad 2, I'm not sure. I don't really know. And then Nomad 6 is Nomad 6.
You know things are getting real when both teams call their tactical timeouts. I'm not used to seeing teams call tactical timeouts in tournament. This is all very exciting. Now,
Yeah,
here's a theory. Nomad 6 is currently known as the least favored map in the pool among players. So, you know it's hard. Do you think Canada is prepared well enough for that map that they can abuse it a little? Because this is kind of an Azer-style map. If you've been following him recently, you'll know he's grown quite addicted to strangely rhythmic maps. Like,
Yeah, this map is
he's a rhythm player.
This ain't it, bro. Like, I've been reading, and taking slight participation in some of the discussions. This ain't it. Like this, we're probably not seeing Nomad 6 play.
How much faith can you put in Papa Azer at this stage? 5-3 semifinals, potentially tournament life on the line, because that losers bracket is looking very, very nasty right now. Nomad 2 it is. Okay, now this is a safe pick.
Yeah.
Kind of. Not really. Nothing in this pool left is a safe pick. It's an okay pick. I mean, they've got Nick, they've got Stoof, they've got presumably 2 other stream players. Today I learned Rupertian plays streams.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna come down to like who misses the space part, right? Like, that's kind of what Nomad 2 is, right? I remember in particular, there's a stream that the spacing kind of goes bonkers, and just in general, it's like
Kind of goes bonkers. This is a map by Kreutz. If you're not familiar with him, he also mapped the ranked version of this map, which is quite a bit harder, quite a bit older.
Yeah, well, we could call this the redemption arc, I could say, but like, I don't know.
You sure? I like the old one better. It kind of rubs me the wrong way. There's some straight lines that I'm not a big fan of. Who knows?
Yeah, that's why I said kind of, right? It's like, this was Kreutz's first ranked map was Ascension to Heaven, the long version. And his style has taken a different turn since then, and this is, I guess, his 2020 rendition of the song in tournament format. I don't know. I'm not gonna... I don't like getting too deep into opinions on maps on stream because, you know, every mapper's toxic, and no one wants to see that. So...
Good plan. We'll steer clear of that for now. The players, this is gonna be kind of tough for Japan. Now that I'm looking at it, they do not necessarily have 4 players who are really strong at just pure flow aim and streams. I mean, they've got Varvalian. Obviously, he's like one of the best players for this kind of thing. Maybe like top 3. But they're gonna need to have a couple of fill players. Like, you see Rollpan coming, he's not exactly known for this kind of thing. Even Delis isn't really known for this kind of thing. And I guess Iger just plays everything, so he's here. But over on Canada, you've got, like, dedicated players who just play this stuff all the time. You've got Stoof, you've got Nick. Yummy in My Tummy's quite good at this kind of thing, and I think Rupert plays this quite well. Just a theory.
Just a theory, right?
Learning things about Rupert.
All right, like, let me look. Like, a lot of Canada's, like,
Azer.
Yeah, a lot of Azers, right? Like, a lot of Canada's players have already been MVP, right? We haven't seen too much of Rupert just in general, like, based off of what's been played. So maybe this is his time, right? Like, this is his time to get that MVP spot, right? Japan, you know, they also have plenty of opportunities. Canada's actually been winning most of the MVPs, right? Like, we saw Stoof get one of them. I think saw Azer got 2. Like, actually, no, I'm sorry. Rupert got his MVP on Nomad 1, so never mind. He did get that.
Ooh. I'm not one to call things too early, but not looking like Japan is very comfortable at this. Like I said, Japan does not have that many players who play this stuff specifically, and you can see it definitely shows. Delis and Iger around 93, same with Rollpan, and already 2 FCs to 2. Oh, whoa, things are happening!
Oh, yeah, Rupert just dropping combo. Delis,
oh my god. Okay, that is a little bit of a disaster for Japan. Every single player breaking combo just around the halfway point. Meanwhile, Canada still holding strong with an FC on Stoof. Yummy My Tummy with an early miss, but
it's not even just the combos, too. Just look at the accuracy, right? Like, Japan's, like, sub 93 on 2 of them, and then 94 on the other, and then you've got Varvalian. Varvalian's doing fine. Everyone else, no, not really.
So you heard it here first. Japan is not a No Mod 2 team.
I mean, in hindsight, this makes a lot of sense, actually. Just because, like, they banned out speed, right? Like, usually, if you're banning out speed, it's like you're scared of stamina as well. So
that is correct. Although I would argue that most of the difficulty is coming from aim here for most of these players. Although, yet the accuracy is definitely having an effect here.
That's no mod 2 in general.
This is a rough map to lose on.
Yeah.
I mean, it was inevitable. This was Canada's pick after all. And if they were just holding this in their back pocket for the whole time, it was bound to come out. And, of course, on their last pick of the match, it would. And as this map reaches its logical conclusion, I think we can congratulate our first entrant into the top 3 of this tournament. Canada, for the first time in OWC history, reaching the top 3 and securing themselves a badge. Azer finally gets his OWC badge after all these long years. Canada will move on to face the winner of Germany versus the United States, which will be played in an hour. Don't miss that one. Meanwhile, Japan dropping down to face the winner of South Korea versus... who won that match? I think it was Brazil.
Wow, what a way to end that match. That was very decisive. Yummy did incredible on that map. I think that was his first MVP of the match, too. So, Canada getting a new MVP, like, on pretty much every pick, that's kind of insane. So, that was really good performance. Japan gave it a good effort, but, I mean, I'm sorry. Like,
that was a great match really in general. Both teams performing very well, much better than in previous years. Given a couple changes in picks and bans, we definitely could have seen this one go the other way, or perhaps the tiebreaker. But in the end, Canada gonna come out on top. There are 3 new roster members paying dividends here in the semifinals. What an awesome match.
That was very, very good plays from Canada. I mean, the picking strategies were definitely good. Like, at least they made sense to me and you, it seems. So.
That was the most tactical match I've ever seen. We saw both teams use their tactical timeouts as things came closer and closer to tiebreaker, and we saw, in the end, Canada tactically picking No Mod 2 to secure them the victory. It was nuts. It was great.
Yeah, that was a match. That was a match. Like, there's not much more to say on that, right? Speaking of matches, right? I believe the next match we have is at 1900 UTC, and that's going to be U.S. versus Germany.
Yeah, that's also a match.
Oh God, yeah. All right. That match can be it's gonna be either really good or it's gonna be like a stomp, right? Like I've heard a lot of information regarding that, right? So like we look at the USA team, right? They're strong as they have historically been for the past like half a decade, and then it's like Germany, you know, it's like they can with as much speed and stamina as there is in the pool, Germany can usually put out a strong showing. So it's not going to be free. Like the US cannot like roll on speed every single map with some of those players on Germany's side. So it's something to watch out for. I think it's just going to come down to like mental. At least on the Germany side, that's going to decide which one, like how good the match is going to be. Because, you know, USA always brings their A game. Gotta watch out. Slight bias there, by the way. Just slight.
True. We're both from
I may as well
the United
mention
States of A.
Yeah, but it's just like I've seen them play. I have seen them play, and you don't want to watch. You want to watch out. Like Germany's gotta come ready to go.
Yeah, whatever the case is, you definitely want to be here for that match if it's not too late for you, and maybe even if it is. You gotta stay up, you know? It's White Cat versus Vaxay. It's the fabled 1v1. I don't think USA has actually faced Germany in quite some time in the World Cup. I can't recall the last time they did, so this will be a new one for everybody involved. But, yeah, until then, that'll be all for us. You will be, taken over. We'll be, how do I put this? Someone else is gonna cast for us. There you go. I can't speak English.
We're gonna be replaced.
Yeah, we're basically fired.
We're swapped out. Like we're benched. We're benched. We had our chance. That's it.
Yep, we got our Japan, Canada, and we're out of here. But yep, see you in 49 minutes.
See you guys.
Don't know where we're going. Burning trees are leading us again. The crumbling ground is brightly glowing. We will arrive. We will arrive.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OS World Cup 2020. We have our final match of Saturday for you all in the semifinals, the match that many of you have been looking forward to for many, many weeks now, the showdown of the week, United States versus Germany. I am one of your commentators today, Chili Repair, and I will be joined by none other than this one guy. How are we doing today?
We are fantastic. We are excited. We are ready for some incredible Osu. Like you said, the most excited and the most hyped matchup that I think we've seen so far this tournament that everybody was waiting for since the moment the teams were announced.
I cannot express how much hype there is around this match in particular. You have the reigning champions, the United States of America, going through, and you have Germany, who has traditionally been a very good team in OWC with a couple of badges for their country. However, the big difference this year is they are joined by none other than the highly anticipated White Cat this year, the #1 player in the world, along with a couple other roster changes for both teams. We have a lot of solid changes this year.
Yeah, both these rosters switching up some members, bringing in some new players who have been performing absolutely lights out. I mean, you look at the new guys in the United States like Fancy Lad, like Kablaze, BTMC, and Swaggy Swagster himself. 4 new players for a team that won twice in a row coming into this year. You would think that maybe that would be a rebuilding year, but the United States has none of that rebuilding nonsense. They come in with 4 new players and they say, no, we're just going right back to where we were, dominating teams left, right, and center so far. Germany, of course, this is the year that White Cat is available, able to play in OS World Cup, and he has come out and put on some pretty good performances of his own as well.
Being backed by a traditionally strong team with a lot of returning players for both. We have actually seen a lot of roster changes on both, almost half the lineup for both of these countries changing. You have White Cat, Neox, Smarty, and Rising joining Germany this year. United States will be joined by I'm a Fancy Lad, Kablaze, BTMC, and Rectigun, known as Swaggy Swagster, on that left-hand side. So both of these teams with half of that lineup change, notably for the United States, I'm a Fancy Lad, the new captain of the United States.
Yeah, and he comes in as another one of the most hyped tournament players out there. For anyone that's familiar with the tournament scene, Fancy Lad has just been on an absolute tear over the past year. He's won several different 1v1 tournaments. He's performed incredibly well, winning team tournaments like Corsace. The dude is just incredible. He is an amazing replacement in some very big shoes to fill, replacing, kind of that second carry role that Idke filled with Vaxay last year. I think Fancy Lad kind of stepping into that spot and doing a great job for himself. Of course, like you said, Germany bringing in several new players as well, shoring up a roster that was already strong last year, getting to that finals weekend. So 2 rosters that I think we're just incredibly excited to see play against each other, and I'm very interesting, especially to see how the strats come out in this match, because both these teams have, I think, a lot of things going for them. It's very hard to find weaknesses to attack.
There is so much well-roundedness in both of these teams. I've traditionally said that they kind of have all their entrances and exits covered on both of these teams here in terms of picks and bans, and it's about which team plays this the smartest in the beginning here. The United States has traditionally looked really good all around, but Germany's been putting up an amazing showing in these later rounds with some of their higher skill cap players and really started to make a stronger name for themselves even with this refreshed lineup. We're going to be getting into the bans to start. We have the first ban for Germany with Nomad 6, followed by Hard Rock 1 for the United States. And then we have Nomad 1 for the United States. Final ban for Germany.
And it's going to be Free Mod 1, and I think this is kind of what you would expect from these two teams. The United States, I think, very much respects the mechanical skill of Germany. Very good aim players, very good speed players. So they, decide we're going to get rid of those 2 big aim-heavy maps in Hard Rock 1 and Nomad 1. Germany, for their part, recognize that the United States are incredibly good at the complex, rhythm-dense, and more gimmicky and tricky maps, so they go ahead and get rid of Nomad 6. They get rid of Free Mod 1 as well, that very difficult alt pick in the Free Mod pool. So both teams going with, I think, bans that you would expect given this matchup. And Germany with a very unsurprising, I should say, first pick of double time number 3, Fight Your Demons. Germany with some incredible speed players on that roster, like Dust Ice, Okinamo, White Cat, of course. So a very logical first pick to get things going here from the German roster.
Very smart from them. You have to go up against a team like the United States who has been very confident in DT traditionally. And something to keep a note for this year is that for one of the first times ever, the United States has a lot of competition in the DT pool this year with so many strong teams. You have Germany, you actually have Canada, who put up some of the highest scores, actually the highest scores we have seen of the weekend right before this match against Japan on the DT maps. We saw a 4 million and a 4.2 million combined team score, which is absolutely insane for a semifinals pool. So I'm very eager to see. I believe this is the map they put up 4 million on what Germany and the United States do, which are arguably stronger DT teams overall.
Yeah, this map, like, I would completely be unsurprised to see maybe a 6-way, 7-way full combo. These are two rosters that are both just incredibly skilled at this type of map. You already saw, like you said, Canada put up a 4 million point score with 3 full combos. Germany and the United States both more than capable of doing exactly the same. They have both great speed players, great DT players on those rosters. This is going to be a very closely contested pick to start things off with, I'm absolutely certain.
This has been probably the most exciting start that we're going to get for this match right here on a double time map. And in order for Germany to pick this confidently against the United States, you have to imagine that they are insanely confident to run out of here with a streamy DT map. I mean, Epica LMT, this is essentially your standard speed stream DT. So, you know, with how strong the United States has been on maps like this, and, you know, Germany's been looking very, very strong lately, especially on maps like this, they must be convinced that they can take this very handedly. If not, this entire match is going to be back and forth.
Yeah, I think we'll get a very good feel for how this match is going to go right away off of these early couple of picks. And I think this is kind of what you're going to expect from Germany. They're going to probably play into those more speedy, more mechanical picks. The United States, for their part, I think will probably trend, as I said, more into the less straightforward maps that'll favor some of the rhythm complexity gamers on that team. You know, your guys like Fancy Lad, for instance, or Vaxe, who can just do everything. So this will tell us a lot. If the United States can win points like this against Germany early on, you know, it might be a very good sign for them. If Germany can, as you said, you know, if Germany can win this, it might be a sign that we're in for a very back and forth, very hard fought battle between the two teams. You know, the one point that I always say about the United States is that in most tournaments, you see them outscaling just about everyone. Once you get into these semifinals and finals pools, their roundedness and their skill floor is just so high. And so Germany's got a lot to live up to here, especially considering, you know, they've seen a couple of slightly shakier performances despite the wins from some of their top players. They're really going to need to be at their absolute best today.
I think that's something about the United States that people have realized over time, especially with the big roster changes this year. We had a lot of discussion about the United States maybe not being as strong this year as last year, and they're not going to sweep again, and they're going to take a big skill hit, you know, like some other countries made big changes this year. And the thing about the United States is there's so many players and there's so many good players that you mentioned the skill floor, the depth just goes so far into the United States and even Germany as well, that they can make these roster changes and keep it almost exactly the same. But with the starting lineups for both teams here coming into DT3, we have Apraxia, BTMC, Rectagon, and Vaxe for the United States, Dust Ice, Ombre, Okinamo, and Rising for Germany to begin this match.
All right, we are underway into map number 1. This is going to be a showcase of some incredible performances, I think, from both sides. And I mean, right off the start, I think you're going to see some very high accuracy, some very big combos from a lot of different players on a map like this. So be ready for a lot of FCs, I think, and just some incredible scores out of these two teams.
You have a lot of strong stream players in this lobby. Traditionally, fantastic stream players. You have like Dust Ice and Ombre and Okinamo in, as well as the new Rising for Germany, who's been putting up a fantastic performance in the tournament thus far. and you have the tried and true Vaxei Apraxia speed combo joined by a very strong BTMC Swaggy Swagster addition this year. Rectagon at that bottom left corner has been making massive improvements and has really showed up this year. And BTMC finally getting his shot at OWC. He was talking earlier today about wanting to get in for a map today, and he is really proving himself, still holding the FC right now.
And you've seen 2 early breaks from Germany already. Umbre and Rising both finding misses before we're even halfway through. United States, unsurprisingly, still holding the 4-way full combo. They're going to run out to a couple 100,000 point lead. And, you know, this is kind of the thing that you're going to be looking out for. I think we're going to keep a close eye on the entire match. Whoever the other couple of players are, right, you're always going to expect great things out of Dust Ice, Okinawa, Whitecat, but kind of those other players on the roster, some of those players who have switched out, who are new this year, who are kind of playing a little bit more of a fill role. We're going to be watching them very closely because their combos could make or break this match for Germany. United States fill quote-unquote players are so good, they would be anybody's starting players for a lot of these maps, and you're seeing that already here with the 4-way 1,000 combo full FCs still intact.
This is an amazing performance from
And
them.
there goes Dust Ice as well. Sorry.
Yep, that's the big one. Nope, that's exactly what you don't love to see for Germany. You have that one combo left for them right now, and there's not much you can do about this at all. You have a quarter of the map left.
And Ed is shaking, BTMC shaking so badly, but the man just somehow keeps kind of believing when that's happening, so I'm not as worried as I might otherwise be because I've seen what he can do while shaking. And this is just going to be the United States putting on the show that I think everyone has come to expect from them in these late round matches. This one is actually over already. It's a 1,000,000-point victory on the first pick for Germany. How demoralizing is this if you're a German player and this is your first pick, your best map, and you come in and the other team is just casually 4-waying it? Like the United States is going to 4-way the first map of this match.
This is insane. This is literally the performance of...
Apraxia, no!
Oh my
The Apraxia
goodness.
method! Alright,
was-
anyway.
It's doomed. It's doomed. The one miss, but that is a statement from the United States at the beginning of this match. A 1.2 million victory. That's insane.
When I saw Canada put up that near 4 million score on this earlier, I thought, oh, that's about as well as anybody's going to do on this. United States comes in, first map of the match, 4.3, almost 4.4 million, 3-way full combo. The only miss in like the last 20 combo of the map. I mean, what do? You're Germany, that's your first pick, and you lose it by 1.2 million points. And now the United States gets whatever map they want the most, and they can just put an early lead right in play.
Some fantastic scores from both teams, even with Germany finding a loss on that point. Okinawa and Vaxei both with barely under 99% accuracy each on that map. 2100s, one off from a 99%. That is a fantastic start for them. But the United States now has the opportunity to be up 2-0 if they pick smart to start this match off here. They are starting with the hidden 3.
Yeah, and I think, having talked to some players who have, who are on the USA team and who have played against them in scrims this week, I think this is a strat a little bit for the United States, going for some of these less mechanical picks and some of these more reading-based and rhythm-based maps, because they do respect the mechanical skill of Germany, as I've said. So, you're going to start off with Hidden 3. They probably would have thought about Nomad 6 if it hadn't been banned. Maps kind of like that, where they can really exert the will of those top players on this roster who I think are a little higher skill cap in this particular vicinity than some of the players from Germany. So the Hidden 3 first pick for the United States coming in already, everybody ready to go. That roster is prepared. Fancy Lad, Ari Kablaze, and Vaxei taking on Dust Ice. Whitecat going to come in for this one alongside Okinawa and Hallow Watcher. This is going to, I think, say a lot as well. The first pick for Germany obviously went really well for the United States. They'd like their own first pick to go just as well.
You imagine that if they are able to take the other team's picks, you'd think that they're pretty strong. Fancy Lad's going to find a very early break, but Okinawa and Dust Ice are both going to match it, so it really won't matter. This map is 3 minutes plus, so early breaks won't matter too much. However, if they continue finding them, that's going to be more of a problem as Fancy Lad breaks again. But Whitecat and Hallow Watcher, new additions to the German roster for this map here, and we have 3 new additions for this map for the United States. Fancy Lad, Aryu, and Kablaze. Kablaze holding it strong up there with Vaxei and Aryu as well with that high accuracy, 98.7% at the beginning of this map.
I love the addition of Kablaze to their USA roster this year. They have a very hard time replacing Toy, who was the dedicated low AR hidden player from last year. But bringing in Kablaze for some of the low approach rate stuff, some of the tricky hidden maps, and somebody who's just incredibly dedicated. You see how much Kablaze plays the game. You know how much she practices and how much she streams and how much she just loves playing Osu and how thrilled she is to be on this team. So that's going to be a player that's just a really good addition to have on the roster, and showing it on her first map in this match here. While we have breaks left, right, and center. Okinamo and Halawatch are both double breaking twice in a row at the first third here. United States just going to run with this one once again.
White Cat trying to do whatever he can for Germany right now as Dust Ice is only supporting combo breaks. There goes Kablaze for the United States. The second break aside from
there goes White Cat on nothing!
And that's it, unfortunately.
What was that break? That's so unfortunate.
That was such an unfortunate break for White Cat, and that's at halfway point as well. That's detrimental to his score.
Yeah, we talk about all the time how your score just plummets if you miss at that point in the map. Unfortunately, that's going to be the fate of White Cat there, and really not much combo on the side of Germany. Meanwhile, Aryu Vaxe doing what they do best, holding on to those FCs. Aryu with great accuracy, above 98. He does finally break, but Fancy Lad is right there to pick up the slack of the supporting combo for Vaxe's continued FC, who, despite the lower accuracy, holding the combo, and that's what's going to be important here, is the United States is going to be out by 500k on this one.
Yeah, Fancy Lad very uncharacteristically finding a lot of breaks at the beginning, but he has found his ultimate comfortability in the end of this. 98% finally breaks with a quarter of the map left, but not before putting up 500,000 on the score. And Vaxe, he's doing what he does right now. He's FCing the map. It's semifinals. He's still pretty comfortable. He's got 96% accuracy, but he's going to roll with it. You have a lot of combos starting to build up on Germany. Unfortunately, they're going up against an FC, which is just running the score away here.
Yeah, this is the... Oh, Vaxe did break, so no FC for him. No, there will be no FCs on this map, and Kablaze follows up shortly thereafter. Fortunately, the United States already had such a big lead that it really doesn't matter. This is the sort of thing that they do to you. They just don't stop, and this is going to be another dominant performance by about 700,000 points. United States starting off very, very strong on these first two picks. Two completely different maps, might I add, and the USA just rolling on both of them.
This is amazing scores from the United States. You do have to note, in the semifinals, putting up 2.6 million team score on a map is very, very impressive. Even in a 4v4 tournament here, the United States winning that by over 750,000 on their final score, and it just goes to show how ready they are for this match. They have the lineups in, they have their picks settled down. The margin was not as great as that first D-Team map, but to be perfectly honest, that is going to be almost impossible to beat that performance there. We said Canada had a fantastic performance, but that first one kind of shut it down, even from Germany's performance as well. So this match is going, we're going to be in for some seriously high scores in the semifinals match here.
And Germany quickly going into the Hard Rock 2 pick, so kind of just trying to go all over the place in search of a point they can win. They're going to go for the Precision Aim CS 6.5 map. I don't know about this one. I understand that you feel a little bit rocked by getting really shut down on the DT pick. But I don't know if this is an optimal selection here from Germany. They'll have to prove me wrong on that one, I guess.
Germany's looked fairly decent on the Hard Rock in this tournament, but picking something awkward like Hard Rock 2 here is, I wouldn't say it's a questionable decision. I think Germany definitely has a very strong lineup for a map like this, running with players like Halawatcher, who just kind of destroy maps like this. He is so good at what he does here, and White Cat will be a good skill cap addition for this. So you need those awkward, gimmicky kind of players for something like this on the 1/3. And fortunately for the United States, they're running with a very strong lineup. Swaggy Swagster, one of the strongest Hard Rock players I've seen in a long time on the United States, and the tried and true Fiery Rage, who kind of beasts Hard Rock every single round. Just when you think you count him out of a map, Fiery Rage is the one that kind of comes through and FCs the Hard Rock for the United States. So both teams really solid lineups here.
Yeah, and the German roster does have some very solid Hard Rock games on it. Halawatcher, Dust Ice. I get White Cat can't really speak so much to his CS 6.5 prowess since he's not been a tournament player to have seen a lot from him in that, but the guy's skill cap is basically non-existent. It is through the roof, so I'm sure he will do okay. But it's so hard to bet against a roster such as the United States on a map like this, where they've been here so many times. They've played so many maps like this in so many tournaments. Like you said, guys like Fiery Rage just show up on maps like this when it counts in the late rounds of OWC. So it's tough to make a pick against Team United States. We talked about that a lot last week in their match against Brazil. And so Germany going to go with what they think is the next best option here, but it's going to be another very contested one at the least, I think.
This is an early break for Fiery Rage there, but within the first 80 combo doesn't really matter too much. United States running with a very similar lineup, only trade being Fiery Rage from that hidden pick here. There's 3 breaks!
Actually, Hollow Watcher and Dust just all missed on the same note. All right. Rising still with the SS along with Whitecat, by the way, through the first 150 combo, so good for them, but a lot of map to come. This is relatively short, but we're still early into it.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 25 seconds, a quarter of the way in right now. Rising does drop the double S, but Whitecat still holding strong. If Germany is able to hold this double FC here, they are going to be able to keep this really close, if any break from the United States.
Actually breaking again, so
That's big.
that's surprising. Not a player that you would expect to break on a map like this, but Germany going to take that lead. We'll see how long they can maintain that double FC. That's what's going to be very important here. Rising and Whitecat, and there goes Whitecat. That is a break, and that is the combo advantage back over to the United States here. They're going to pull the score gap down. And there goes Rising as well. Both FCs gone for Germany in a heartbeat. Oh, you hate to see it. There goes Hollow Watcher too!
Germany!
Oh, Germany, man. You can't afford to miss there, guys. You just can't. I'm sorry.
They tried. They had so much opportunity to capitalize. You had Fiery Ridge and Vax. They both breaking the beginning of the map. Fiery does find another break past that halfway point, but with Rectagon and Kablaze both still holding FCs, and just Dust Ice, the next closest combo, who is basically being matched by Vax's combo right now. And there goes Dust Ice and Kablaze, and that's probably going to do it.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Man, we talk about it so much. Every match the United States plays, practically every map the United States plays. The phrase that I've used before, you give them an inch and they will take a mile. You cannot break against this team because no matter what, it feels like you look at the United States and they just have big combos on at least 2 people at almost all times. And, no matter what you're doing as their opponent, you just feel like, I can't imagine you can feel like you ever can break. No matter what, you just can't break because you'll immediately fall behind.
You have to imagine the nerves are absolutely massive. Whitecat has insanely impressive accuracy right now with 99.47. Unfortunately, Rectagon won't be FCing this map, even though he will top score for the United States with a very healthy 915k. But Whitecat's accuracy is absolutely insane. Same with Hollow Watcher. We said we should be on the lookout for some of the German players here, and unfortunately, the one miss is superseding the accuracy for them. But 299% on this is amazing from them. But Whitecat was talking earlier about how he doesn't really get nerves until he gets into OWC matches like this, and you can see his raw skill with that accuracy. He's so comfortable on this, but any miss just makes that whole world of difference.
Yeah, and I think that speaks volumes to just how experienced the United States players are in tournaments, because you can afford to give up a little bit of accuracy if it means maintaining combo. And you can see them doing that there with those plays from Rectagon, from Vaxe, from Kablaze, where they had slightly lower accuracy than their counterparts on the German side, but they all had better combo. And so that experience, that just wealth of tournament play where you hold combo at all costs, it's the most important thing. That is just going to come into play on closer maps like that, where it could be very, very tight, but they just get that little bit of extra combo and they roll with it. And now the double break already for the United States, about to go up 4-0 if they can win their own pick. Germany just on their heels at that point. 2 picks in, and they played 2 completely different maps of their own selection, and they got absolutely destroyed on one of them and beaten fairly badly on the other one as well. So that confidence just in the United States favors so heavily.
They're going to try running with this motivation that they have right now. I'm sure they had plenty of it coming into this match, knowing the United States, one of the most hyped up teams within their own, even, voice chats and community. They definitely hype each other up plenty here. And, you do have to be careful of Germany still. They are down 3 points right now, but Germany is not one of those countries that will just roll over and die or even let their mental get to them. They are definitely one of the stronger teams in terms of mental. So you can get them down a couple of points and they'll still come right back if you give them the opportunity. We have 2 early breaks again for both teams here, and we've actually seen this alternating that picked quite a bit. I think the only match we didn't see it in was in Canada versus Japan, and every other match it's been picked in.
Yeah, this has been a very popular map, and it's a very difficult one. I've heard some players say it's one of the more difficult maps in the pool because the patterns are just so tough. You can see the aim required in these streams. Finding a couple misses here and there is very easy. You saw Dust Ice with a break in that longer stream section, but it's going to stay very close for now. Germany's still holding on to 3 very solid FCs with very good accuracy on Okinamo, just a couple of hundreds. So this is very much balanced on Knife's Edge, about a quarter of the way through here. And with the style of map this is, it can go any which way very quickly. Unfortunately, Germany with a couple of breaks, Okinamo and Dust Ice finding 2 more misses, and that 3 FC lead to now just 1 as Hello Watcher breaks as well for Germany. That's going to pay dividends to the United States, as Whitecat is the only FC remaining for Germany. They got to pull themselves together here.
Yeah, well, they really need to start picking maps that they are confident on as a team. They're definitely, it seems like they're picking for one specific player to try and perform here. And unfortunately against the United States, you can't really do that when almost all their players can play, most of these maps, especially still in semifinals. There's not really any one player that is completely out. Fancy Lad actually finding a little bit of a miss-aim there, and Fiery Rage does break again. So there is a little bit of an opportunity here. That's right around the halfway point of the map, which means their scores are capped at 650,000 if they FC the rest. But right now, it is quite literally just Whitecat with a combo on Germany going up against both Ariu and Vaxei. Ariu with 99% plus. There goes Vaxei and Fancy Lad, though.
So this is going to come down to Whitecat versus Ariu, and I would almost say advantage Whitecat here. He's been very good on alt maps in this tournament so far. Things like this have become his forte in this tournament. Ariu, though, holding on with higher accuracy. He's just got to maintain that combo for a bit. The United States still does have that score lead by about 400k. There is enough score for Whitecat to make it up if something were to really go wrong for the USA, but right now they've got enough combo to maintain that lead, especially with Dust Ice having a lot of trouble.
There goes Fiery Rage again, though, and Ariu really just needs to find a break right now if they want the opportunity. Unfortunately, Ariu's looking insanely strong. His accuracy is holding up insanely well. There goes Fancy Lad, though, so there's a lot of teammates on the United States that are not backing Ariu up right now. It's just Vaxei along with him. But Ariu is just not letting anything up. Whitecat's doing everything he can. Fiery Rage and Okinamo and Hello Watcher all breaking. There's just nothing Germany can do right now. The combos earlier from the United States are just carrying them into the finish, and Ariu is going to match Whitecat into the ending.
He does finally break near at the end. Whitecat's going to end up with the top score on this no matter what now, but it's a 400k score lead. The United States did more than enough. And this is a kind of a glimpse here, I think, of what Germany is capable of. You saw that score from Whitecat if he had a little bit better backing combo from his teammates, but they just didn't provide exactly what he needed there. Dust Ice down under 300k, not the performance I'm sure he would have liked. Meanwhile, Ariu 860k, but Vaxei with about 600k, and Fancy Lad doing quite well, up about 500k. So USA just, it's that matter of having the better players behind. But man, Whitecat, the FC, very, very solid stuff from him. You do like to see that. He is, one of those players that is obviously a difference maker, a catalyst for his team, if his team provides enough backing score. And they've got to start doing that now in a hurry, as it's already 4-0.
Yeah, unluckily for Germany, they had such a good opportunity at that ending. All the players in the United States were dropping combo everywhere. There was no combo build-up. It was just Ariu on it. But unfortunately, with the earlier they held FCs for quite a while in that map, and Germany's 3 supporting players for Whitecat, they're just not being able to match those early combos, and that's really what did the damage into the ending there for Germany. If they had that solid overall team performance that they were looking for, they would have taken that fairly easily, I imagine. The United States kind of underperforming on the alting map there, but Germany looks like they're going to stay tried and true here, going to bring it back to the DT on Ekenai borderline.
Yeah, and of the remaining DT picks, I'm not really sure about going with one that's this straightforward. I guess this is the feeling of, well, they banned Hard Rock 1 and Nomad 1, so DT 1 is kind of the next pick that's like those. This is a pick that you would expect Whitecat and Dust Ice at least to probably FC about 99 times out of 100. So they're just expecting really high scores here. I don't know if this is necessarily a pick, but I guess I feel that way about a lot of things. Germany I think isn't great at the things that United States is comparatively weak on. So instead, they're just picking into their strengths rather than picking into the United States' weaknesses. But, you know, AR 10.3, 240 BPM, pretty much just a generic, straightforward, lot of aim, few bursts here and there type of map. It's something that I think, you know, like with any Nomad 1 type map, if you miss somewhere at random, you can just lose the map really quickly. So Germany kind of going to bank on their consistency on DT and hope that it's what can give them their first point of this match.
So they're going to be looking to improve from their earlier DT performance. Well, rather, maybe not looking to improve from their earlier DT performance, rather looking for the United States to not 4-way FC another DT map. I am glad that Germany was not scared off by the fact that the United States was very strong on the first DT map they picked. Granted, they are completely different. This is AIM, and the other one was a stream DT, so it's completely different. But the AR 10.3 on this is really the difference that you're looking for, and this is just something that both of these teams have a very solid lineup for to start this off.
I'm a little interested to see Fiery Rage in for this map for the United States, but I mean, hey, you know, if he's going to do well on it, he's going to do well on it. Whitecat is going to, in fact, be the first one to break, which, considering what he's best known for, is a little surprising to me, but man, like you said earlier, the tournament nerves, especially in OWC, especially in semifinals with, I don't know, 15,000 people watching you, that, I think, has to play into your mental a little bit if you're not used to this big of a stage, so we'll see what happens the rest of the map as USA still holding onto a double SS on Fancy Lad and Vaxay.
Yeah, we're a quarter of the way in already. This map is fairly long at 3 minutes, so there's plenty, but ooh, Dust Ice is finding a break. That's not the side that we want to see him miss on. Whitecat did find an earlier break, but there goes Neox as well. Germany is just falling apart right before the pause section. The United States holding 4 FCs and Vaxay on the double S. What can you do? Rising is double S.
Yeah, I was going to say Rising was on the SS. He hit that 100 right after the break.
No.
But yeah, I mean, Germany is still in this, as you said. It is a long map. There's plenty of time, and there's a break from Rectagon. That is the first miss from the United States on this map. But Germany's got to hope for a lot more breaks out of the United States if they want to have a chance in this one. About halfway through now. This is where maps are won and lost here as we go into the long burst and then into the second PI. This is where things are going to start to get really real. Misses start to become kind of uncomebackable from. And, you know, if you hold through this and somebody else breaks, you have a very good chance at maintaining your lead through the end.
This is still quite doable for Germany. Rising is holding the best performance that I've seen him put up in the tournament thus far on this DT map here. 1x100 still for him, and Whitecat has a good...
No! And he breaks! Rising is gone. And Neox breaks as well. Alright, so I think that just kind of ended the map, and you hate to see it after you're saying all those nice things about how well they were doing.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Rising, you know, he's got a really good score, still putting it up, but Whitecats and Dust Ice are really trying to hold this. Unfortunately, going up against 3 really strong FCs. Fancy Lad on 99.5 almost, Vaxay on 99.4, and Fiery Rage with a very respectable 98% accuracy. And there's Rectagon with 500 combo on his 1 break, almost at 99. The United States, even with the 1 missed FC, is still looking insanely strong, and the accuracy on Rectagon is actually going to put his score almost equivalent to Dust Ice's at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do about this. Whitecat had the 1 early break, and he's FC'd since then with good accuracy. Rising with the 1 miss, I think 100, maybe 2 100s. Dust Ice with a very solid score. The USA, though, just casually 3-way FCing. Fancy Lad 6 100s, Vaxay 7 100s. The slider break, it is a 4-way S rank, in fact, from the United States. Fiery Rage bringing up that S rank, the FC for him as well, with a couple more slider ends missed. But man, what do you do? What do you do against that score? I don't actually know. I mean, they just put up 4.3 million for the second time in this match.
It was, I mean, let's look at it this way. It's one of those matches where Germany actually, that's a really good DT performance. That would beat almost every team in the tournament on this map in terms of score. Unfortunately, when you're going up against the United States, a team of 8 players that have, 6 out of 8 of their players can FC every single map that they pick. And there's just almost nothing that you can do about it when the other team is just completely outperforming what has been done in all of history in this game. You really need to be able to rally together in a way that very few teams can pull themselves together in this tournament in order to beat a performance like this. And, you know, it's not a knock at Germany. Amazing team. They are putting up some insane scores. White Cat has popped off on some maps. Halo Watchers had a great time. Okinamo did great on the hidden map. Like, they've had so many good scores. It's just they need a map where every single player has that, and Germany just hasn't had that yet, and the United States has had it on every map. I mean, they just won both DTs by 1 million plus.
Yeah, you know, and that you really just hit the core of the matter, I think, right there by saying you need all of your players to have their best map on every single map if you're against the United States, because that's what they force you to do. And I think it's good because I think the United States is forcing other teams around the world to become better. I think we've seen a lot of teams improving a lot this year in OS World Cup. This Germany team, I think, is actually better than last year's. South Korea has looked very good. Canada, who will be the United States' opponent if they close this out here in the winner's bracket final, Canada has looked astonishingly strong. All these teams have gotten so good because the United States is so good. They're chasing after them year in and year out. But the United States just has another level. They have that next gear that they can turn to in the times when it matters. They've got the vv811034805 late round insurance. They've got these new players like FancyLad who just bring in even more late round insurance. And it's so hard to touch that if you're any other country.
I really, you know, as much as I would love to call like the reverse sweep here from Germany and have them start like rolling through some points here, this is just such a difficult match for Germany. And, you know, I really think Germany has a very good shot of going down to the losers bracket and just winning and making it back to grand finals because of how good they are as a team. And Fiery Rage is going to find an early break on this, so it's not over yet. Germany is going to have their opportunity here at the beginning of this map. But, you know, we can only hope that Germany takes this, they run with it, and they go through the losers bracket, and they come back, and they come back stronger in the grand finals. Because there's 2 breaks now for Germany, and this is going to be very difficult to come back from now with a map that is 3 minutes and already a quarter of the way in.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see very interesting things in the remainder of the tournament, no matter how this match finishes up, because these teams will continue to scale. These are players, all 16 of the players in these 2 teams, as well as the other players still in the winners and some of those top losers bracket teams, all just scale very, very well. And the map pools are going to continue to get harder. And so those carry players can start to be more and more important. Your vv811034805s of the world, your White Cats of the world, your Karunas of the world will be so very important to their teams in these late rounds. But for right now, this is the stage that I think the United States might be their most untouchable on, because it's early enough for them in their mind that they will still see a lot of maps, but it's late enough that a lot of other teams don't have players that can match their 3rd and 4th on given maps. You know, you expect your top 2 to put up great scores, but it's the other players who kind of fill in those gaps. And the United States has more of those, especially at this stage of things, than anyone else in the world, and they're proving that in this match with this 5-0 lead that looks like it's about to become a 6-0 sweep.
This is just going to be so hard for Germany to even make any attempt at coming back from this right now. We are coming into the final quarter of the map. There is 3 remaining FCs on the United States, one of which on FancyLad is a 99.35, which is unbeatable essentially on this map. There is no player in here I think that can match that performance in terms, and nobody is matching that performance. Even vv811034805 with a 97%. There goes White Cat, and it's just Halo Watcher to try and make something happen. And he's got a fantastic Hard Rock score right now. This is absolutely all right. I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but yeah, I mean, what do you do? I don't know. The ending of this really tricky. Might see a couple breaks here, but you know, you've got players. You've got FancyLad dropping his axe just a little bit, but man, Kablaze on the hidden FC, double Nomad FC from Fancy and vv81103. I mean, it makes the United States look untouchable, and it makes it very hard. You know, I want to be able to say this was a close match and both teams looked great, but man, the United States just 6-0'd Germany like it was nothing in about half an hour.
This was, you know, we came into this, and I think a lot of people were expecting, you know, as much as we would love to see Germany, you know, take the win on this, a lot of people were expecting the United States to win, albeit the score be a little closer. But United States, they did this last year. They looked really strong. There were a lot of good other teams. And then for some reason, like the United States, they play well in early stages, and then you hit semifinals and finals, and the United States is like, FC time. It's time to like roll away. We've hit the skill cap maps. We're going to just start using this to our advantage. and they just take it and they run with it, and they really prove it. 6-0 against Germany, who is arguably probably the second strongest team in this tournament aside from Canada. I mean, Canada, guaranteed that third place now, and Germany's going to go down to the losers bracket to fight their way back up to the grand finals, and it's all just a battle for who's going to take the points now.
Yeah, and Germany, they'll have an interesting bracket in front of them. They'll have the winner of Indonesia versus Australia. That'll be our first match of the day tomorrow. The winner of that will face Germany in losers bracket round 6 next weekend. On the other side, of course, you've got South Korea versus Brazil. The winner of that to face Japan next week. And then we've now got our winners final set. Congratulations to both the United States and Japan and Canada, the two teams that are now guaranteed top 3 in the tournament here. But we're going to see some good matches, I think, still left. I think, like you said, Germany's going to fight their way through things now coming from the losers bracket, but they've got some matchups ahead of them that I think they can be successful in to try and get back up to that grand final, to try to use that skill cap that we know they have to put up a good show if they get to that grand final. But man, the United States just looks unstoppable. I don't know what you do against a 6-0 in this setting. They just looked so good in this match today. And they're only going to get better as they continue to scale into the finals and grand finals pools.
Yeah, absolutely amazing for them. And, the losers bracket with so many good matches coming up, Germany is going to face that winner, and then Japan on the other side of the bracket to face off. It is going to be a absolutely amazing next weekend, and please stay tuned for tomorrow for those other matches: Indonesia, Australia, and South Korea, Brazil. 2 more amazing matches that we'll get to see, maybe a little bit closer in terms of scores, so some very exciting maps going on there. And for the first time in goodness knows how long, an all North American Canadian grand finals match, Canada versus the United States, will be our winners bracket final match. For the first time ever, Canada going to be pulling a top 3 finish guaranteed in the OS World Cup.
Yeah, I am so happy for Canada, especially for Azer. He's been on those teams as the captain for so long, working so hard to put together rosters to improve Canada's tournament scene, and to really try to reach that late round of the World Cup. And it's finally come to fruition this year. He'll finally get his first OWC badge. No matter what happens, they're guaranteed top 3. And they are going to be reaching for the stars. I think the United States is going to be a very difficult matchup for them, but they put up some really good scores this week in that match against Japan earlier. So I think USA versus Canada, like you said, first ever, I believe, all North American winners bracket final here in OS Standard World Cup, which is a very cool thing to see in its own right. And it's going to be, I think, a very exciting matchup. I can't wait for that one, as well as the rest of the matches like we were talking about in the losers bracket. We've got a lot of good OSU to come between tomorrow and over the next couple of weeks.
It's going to be amazing. So hopefully you all stay tuned for the matches and the remainder of this weekend, and for next weekend in finals, and after that grand finals. We have a lot more to come. We are certainly not done yet. So that is definitely it for the matches for today. Thank you for the amazing stream, lovely viewer count today. This is one of the most viewed matches of the tournament ever, and the most viewed of this year. Very exciting. And we're probably going to be it for today, and then we'll come back tomorrow. 2 more very exciting matches, and then the showcase for the finals to follow that, to continue what has been a very exciting OS World Cup this year.
Yeah, definitely do not miss out. Tomorrow morning, 9 UTC will be our first match. That is Indonesia versus Australia, and then followed up 13:30 UTC, 1:30 p.m. UTC. South Korea versus Brazil will be our last match of the weekend. Do not miss those. They are going to be exciting. Losers bracket matches have been thrilling this week, so be there or be square. Thank you for watching. I've been this one guy. You've been Chili Repair. Thanks for being here, Chili Repair. And we will see you guys tomorrow.